Let's blow up your friend's house with style, because today we're going to learn how to use TNT cannons.
Netcasts you love from people you trust. This is Twit. Video and audio bandwidth provided by Cashfly at cachefly.com.
Hello and welcome to OMGcraft. I'm your host, Chad Johnson. This is a show that'll teach you how to become a Minecraft expert in no time. And today we are delivering on that promise because we are going to be covering an awesome thing. This was asked by Jake in an email. He asks, "Hello, I'm new at Minecraft and have been having trouble with cannons. How do I make a TNT cannon and how do I fire a TNT cannon?" Excellent question. Now, there are all sorts of different types of TNT cannons in Minecraft. You can have vertical cannons, you can have downward cannons, you can have people cannons, you can even have sand cannons, and so on. So in this video, we're just going to cover the basics, and we may get into the crazier cannons later on in a different episode. Let's show it off. So, first I want to show off the basic idea of what a cannon actually does. And the biggest principle that a cannon uses is that when TNT is activated and is sitting in water, oops, that's not sitting in water. It's going to be, oh good, actually it's sitting mostly in water. If it's sitting mostly in water, as we've just demonstrated, it will not destroy, it will not grief the blocks around it. Although this does cause all the items to take normal damage and to be affected. So if I do this one more time and I was to switch into a different game mode, or we can do this quite quickly by grabbing some sort of animal. So let's grab a, you know what, this slime. Hey slime, you're really loud and annoying. And you can see that the slime is going to take damage when the TNT explodes. And now we have a whole bunch more slimes. Let's set that to peaceful. Perfect. So we're going to use this to create to create blocks that are going to move from one place to another. So if I set down, this is a very, very simple cannon, and if we fire this one off first, and it falls into the water, and we know it's not going to grief anything, and then we set this one off, it will fire this TNT cannon away from where it started, causing destruction, which is exactly what we want, because the second piece of TNT is not sitting in water, unless, of course, it lands in water. So let's go ahead and build a very, very basic cannon. And many of the cannons will start out looking something like this, where you'll have a chute for your TNT to go into. And actually, let's make one more, and make it one more lengthwise. You'll put water on one end, and then you'll put something that will stop the water from flowing out on the other end. And we're going to put this on the bottom there. Now, anyway, we'll get to that a little bit later. Then you're going to go ahead and build this up one more layer. And this layer is where your TNT is going to rest in top of this. So you'll go ahead and fill the top with TNT, just like this. And the general idea, just like over here, is that these four pieces of TNT, I'll break them and replace them. Those four will fire first, and then this last piece will wait a little while until after these have activated so that it can shoot off into the distance. And the more TNT you have behind one piece of TNT, the further it will move. So in order to make this happen, we're going to go ahead and put redstone down to make sure that these four will fire. And once they're activated, we can't activate them a second time. So we're going to put this redstone down, but reaching, whoops, I fell, reaching all the way to this first block. So these ones will already be activated and out of the way. And then we can activate this, and it'll reach down here to this TNT. We're going to put down two buttons so that we can activate the redstone. And before we get started, I do want to mention that I put this half slab here. Different items can be used instead of a half slab. You could use a ladder, you could use just a button. If you put down a button, that should, well, actually, that's a piece of redstone, so that doesn't stop water anymore, I don't think. Yeah, so buttons don't stop water. For some reason, I thought that they did. But you can use different items, and those different items will cause that TNT to rest either above or below where these other TNT are going to explode, which means that it'll have a different arc, a different trajectory. So let's go ahead and fire off this cannon and just kind of test it out. You can see that TNT primes a few times before it explodes, so timing is pretty important. And there you go. That is a very, very basic cannon to fire somewhere else. So let's go ahead and do that again, and we'll kind of show off what's happening. These first 4 are firing. They will prime for 8 ticks, 8 of these white ticks, and then you're going to prime the second one just so that it's out and primed and an entity already. It's something that can be moved around. And you can play around with the timing of these explosions quite a lot. So if we activated this one, didn't wait too long, and activated the second one, this TNT that we fired is going to explode much faster. So it may explode right in the middle, right in the air. Now, if this is a little bit difficult for you, maybe you don't have the hand-eye coordination that a lot of us do. There you go, see, it exploded in the air. You can do some interesting things with redstone. And so let's go ahead and see what that is going to look like. If we build this out just a little bit, and then add this over here, then add right there. Let's go ahead and grab a repeater. And we add repeaters to this line right over here. Now we can activate this piece of TNT. Whoops, I just broke it. We can activate this piece of TNT without using the second option. And this will give us a much more direct and a much more reliable cannon. So we know basically exactly how long it's going to take for the this last piece right here to be activated. So we can go ahead and just destroy this button. And let's go ahead and set it off and see what timing we've done. Oh, you know what? I did that wrong. Let's go ahead and break that. This last piece does need to be a piece of redstone. That's basic redstoning that I forgot. And you know what? Just based off of the very first time I did this, I noticed that it's a little bit fast. So we can slow this down. And this is kind of the nice part of having a cannon. Now, this isn't a very compact cannon. There's much more compact versions, but we can get our TNT to be basically perfect. See, that one, it was a little bit too slow. Let's aim for the top of that house there. We definitely don't want TNT right here. Let's see if we can blow up just the top of that house before it hits the ground. There we go. Perfect. Our timing was great. So that's the basic idea of a cannon. So, there's tons of cannons, like I mentioned before, but let me show you one that might be a little bit interesting that you might want to play in your game. This is called a chaos cannon. It's called a chaos cannon because of the way that it fires. Now remember, this is my water source block. You can see it kind of flowing away from this block. So if I was to put TNT here, it would remove the water, which is definitely what we don't want. And knowing a little bit about how redstone works, the redstone that's running by this TNT will activate it. So we also don't really want any TNT right here because this won't be activated in time. Now inside of here, we're going to go ahead and put in TNT, and you can just aim for that hitbox of that bottom slab, and it'll create TNT up there. And then it works just like a normal cannon. You're going to go ahead and activate the bottom row. Oops, I activated those top ones. Activate the top row, and then it explodes with all that. Now, because I activated those 2 top ones, because my redstone went all the way, it exploded the front of this cannon. As you can see, sometimes you're going to have issues, but it was able to fire out a big spread of TNT, which is a lot of fun, and that's why we call this a chaos cannon. I hope that you enjoyed this explosive episode. If you'd like to send me some feedback or some tips and tricks that you'd like us to cover on the show, feel free to email me at mail@omgcraft.com. And go, of course, subscribe to the show at twit.tv/omgcraft. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you next time. Bye!